Charles Pellegrin is here for our business segment now, in a bid to protect its auto industry from competition from China. As it transitions towards electric vehicles, the US set quadrupled import tariffs on Chinese EVs on Tuesday. But there are concerns these cars could still enter the US market. Charles Pellegrin is here, and I promise you he's not going to sing.
No, I really don't want to.
Okay. Just give us business.
The Biden administration has said it is watching closely at whether Chinese car companies are looking to export cars from Mexico into the United States in a bid to circumvent these tariffs Stuart mentioned. At the same time, China's leading electric vehicle company, BYD, launched its first truck in Mexico on Tuesday, and its regional chief said the company is currently in talks with 3 different Mexican states to choose a location for a plant that it plans to build there. Let's listen in to the U.S.'s trade representative flagging this concern about Chinese EVs going through Mexico, as well as BYD's head of its Americas region responding to these concerns.
The second question was on EVs and BYD in Mexico. At USTR, that is exactly what we are built to worry about and to be concerned with. That will require a separate pathway. This is about imports from China. What you're talking about would be imports from Mexico. Equally important, something that we are talking to our industry, our workers, and our partners about. And I would just ask you to stay tuned.
It don't make a difference because when we build a Mexican plant, we only consider it's the Mexico market and also other countries' market, not really consider U.S.
So, Charles, the concern here, isn't it, that the free trade agreement between Mexico and the US?
Yeah, and that agreement signed in 2020 and going up for review in 2026 allows for the free trade of any cars produced in Mexico into the United States, whether produced by a Chinese company or not. Donald Trump has suggested on the campaign trail that he would prevent this from happening. And now the Biden administration, as we saw, is also saying it's looking at that issue. Chinese car companies have been putting in the work to develop their footprint in Mexico over the years, to the extent that when looking at car sales in the country last year, vehicles from China are way ahead of the pack, totaling over 212,000 sales. That's double more than sales of vehicles from any other country. Back in 2016, cars from China were almost non-existent in Mexico. And currently, Chinese manufacturers of car parts are already exporting to U.S. clients from Mexico. So there is a precedent and a cause for concern for the U.S. neighbor.
And presumably it really underlines that strategic shift, if you like, towards the export market for Chinese car manufacturers.
Chinese car makers are basically focusing on every global market except for the United States, which is now seen as being off limits. In part, this is because of increased competition at home. There's over 100 different EV brands competing for the domestic market, and government subsidies means that brands also hold an advantage against foreign rivals. That's the argument pushed by the U.S. and European governments. All this has led China to become the world's top car exporter, with close to 5 million vehicles shipped out last year, as you can see there, from a baseline of around 1 million in the years preceding 2021.
Now, another strategy for Chinese companies is to make deals with foreign car makers. This is what we've seen here in Europe.
Auto giant Stellantis has set up a new joint venture with a Chinese electric car maker and will start selling in Europe this year. The new company, called Leapmotor International, is 51% owned by Stellantis and will be headquartered in the Netherlands. By teaming up with China's EV startup Leapmotor, Stellantis plans to ramp up production of cheaper electric cars of under 20,000 euros and increase its market share. Vedeke Bahel has this.
It's the home of several global car brands, from Peugeot to Chrysler to Citroën. And now auto giant group Stellantis will be going further to expand its worldwide operations. Having created a joint venture with Chinese partner Leapmotor, it will soon start selling Chinese-made electric vehicles in Europe.
Leapmotor, we are going to be able to bring faster to our markets affordable EVs that will not only contribute to the profitable growth of Leapmotors, the profitable growth of Stellantis, and of course, they will contribute faster and in a more efficient way to fixing the global warming issue that we have to fix as humanity.
The new company, Leap Motor International, is 51% owned by Stellantis, with its focus on producing affordable EVs under €20,000. The joint venture plans to create a new model annually for the next 3 years in Europe, allowing it to navigate potential customs duties and for Stellantis to step up global manufacturing.
China's auto industry, especially the new energy vehicle industry, is well developed. Many auto companies not only want to seize the Chinese market, but they also want to compete in the global market, especially the European market, with lower costs through China's new energy industry chain.
Leap Motor International plans to start selling 2 Leap Motor models in 9 European countries this September, before expanding to South America, India, Asia Pacific and the Middle East. The EU is investigating whether cheap Chinese car imports are distorting competition in its market.
Now let's move on to something different. Google, this is, announcing it will begin providing AI-generated answers at the top of its search results.
This is an effort to satisfy users' curiosity more quickly than via links to other web pages. It comes as competition is heating up in the AI sphere, but mounting competition is not the only challenge facing Google. Its own current and former employees staged a raucous demonstration outside its developer conference in Silicon Valley Tuesday, protesting the company's involvement in Israel's occupation of Palestinian territories. Brian Quinn has this.
Google unveiling the next step in its AI evolution. Search results in the form of AI-generated answers to whatever questions users may input.
The result is a product that does the work for you. Google Search is generative AI at the scale of human curiosity.
Called AI Overviews, it could have the potential to upend the traditional search model and the click-through advertising that powers much of Google's business. The announcement comes one day after rival OpenAI unveiled a highly conversational update to its ChatGPT chatbot, with rumors of an AI search engine in the works.
Google is for genocide!
But competition wasn't the only thing heating up at Google's annual developer conference. Outside, dozens of protesters, including former employees, blocked an entrance, calling for the company to stop providing cloud computing services to the Israeli government. They say Google's $1.2 billion contract with Israel, known as Project Nimbus, is enabling the unjust repression of Palestinians in an apartheid system via facial recognition software, as well as supporting the development of military tools used in Israel's war on Gaza that has devastated the territory's infrastructure and killed thousands of civilians.
And Google knows that the Israeli military, for example, is using Google's tools for facial recognition and to help detain and torture and kill people in Gaza.
Google has fired dozens of employees over sit-ins against Project Nimbus. The company says the program is not directed at work relevant to military, weapons, or intelligence services.
And you're going to end with a quick look at the markets.
European bourses opening higher this Wednesday as global investors look ahead to the U.S.'s Consumer Price Index for April later this Wednesday, and what this might mean for the Federal Reserve's decision on interest rates, with many hoping that stickier than expected inflation won't mean a return to rate hikes. As you can see, the FTSE in London opening the session half a point. I'm not going to finish that sentence. I'm too tired.
Okay, well, we saw it anyway.
You saw it,
So
yeah,
you don't
exactly.
need to. Charles Pellegrin, who's off to bed on France 24. That's it from us. More news in a couple of minutes' time.